Raubat, Maboika, bienvenido, and welcome. What's going on? It's Friday, and man, just wanted to come on and just touch on a few things. Anyway, let me get the camera here. Peace and blessing, my boy God. All right. Just decided to dress up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Walk around the house, just sabik, you know? I just wanted to, first of all, let me start off this by saying, where awareness goes, energy flows. Again, where awareness, just consciousness, where it goes, the energy flows. Very, very important. This is my teacher, one of my teachers. This is him. This is Yanun. The way he manifests to us during the Ansar days. Right there. Yanan. And he came giving us the teachings of the cosmos. The extra, the multiverse. That teaching of the cosmos. You know? And so I just wanted to speak about these energy centers here. But let me get out of that. I wanted to go back into right here. What we call the third eye is the first eye. And that is to say the A in the, I don't have the tone with me, but it's the A in the keyboard. And it's the not the but the That's how you tune yourself with that, you know. And that's deal with perspection, what they call truth and lies. Let me see if I have it here. I know I did have it. Don't have it. Ooh, I should have saved it and put it on here, but I don't have it. Well, this is the perception, third eye, where truth and lies. The shadow self are lies. No, I'm sorry, illusions. Let's go back. My bad. Let's go back. Let's look for it. Not that one. The solar plexus. Not that one. Here, the I. This is where you speak your truth or you speak your lies, right? One thing about these energy centers, right? You got the shadow self, and then you have the light. The light casts the shadow. So truth can cast a shadow of light because everything is cosmic. It's all together. But when it's fractalized, when it's fractalized, it becomes a lie, right? So we have to be careful when we start speaking our truth and make sure we speak truth and not lies, because you lean more to the shadow self, you can get sick, which I'm going to segue into this brother, Mark Lamontel. And a lot of, and you know, this is what's going on. You're going to see a lot of brothers getting sick, you know what I'm saying? Because these electromagnetic forces, this energy sense is getting stronger. And if you don't align yourself the proper way, then you're going to get sick, illness. You know what I'm saying? You're living in the lies. You're perpetuating that, and you're living in that. And then what happened is, your body gets sick. If I lie to myself saying, oh, everything is all right, and I start eating, oh, you can eat this, you can eat that, you can eat this, you can eat that, I'm going to get my body sick, right? Because I'm living a lie. I'm indulging myself in constant fractalized statements, fractalized thoughts. I'm not putting it together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking truth. What I'm speaking is misinformation. And so I see this. When, you know, you see this happen, and you say to yourself, man, look at this. Anyway, let me bring it up right here. Give me 1 second. Let me get off the camera, but I'll keep speaking. I'm just looking on here. Let me see who has it. No, it's in my news feed, but it's on my phone. Oh man, I don't think I can bring it up. But I wanted to bring up the fact that, if anybody heard the news, now the news has been circulating talk that Marc Lamont Hill was fully vaccinated, but suffered a heart attack and blood clots. That's what they're going to say. But I tell you this. If he's ill, he made his body ill because he's living in that world. He's living in that particular paradigm. It becomes habitual. Telling lies and lies, it becomes all habitual. Man, I don't have it. So let's forget about that. Next time I'll try to be a little more organized on that and bring some stuff up. Because I didn't really think about doing this, you know what I'm saying? I just decided, hey, let me go on. I did my little meditation. I'm drinking some tea. Look at that. Beautiful, huh? Again, drinking my tea. Man, one day I'm going to break this down to you, man. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to break it down to you. But yeah, I've been drinking my tea. And so, we have to be very, very, again, conscious, because not that energy is going to flow there. We have to look at the weight, which I'm a little breaking down with those hieroglyphics. We have to look at the weight of things, right? The paradoxical way of thinking, both, how it exists. So on one part, you have the shadow self. You have the light, and the light casts a shadow. And in the shadow self, you got things like grief, shame, envy, guilt, and lies. Lies. If you're out here spilling lies, if you're not speaking truth, that means when you're not putting the pieces all together and including all of it, and it's fitting perfectly neatly together, you're not speaking truth. You see, because that's what truth is. So when you come on a platform and you start speaking lies and misinformation, people are catching you on, you're putting this out into the multiverse. You're also internalizing this, and you're living with this in your body. So you're actually thinking that, hey, sometimes you tell so much lies that you actually believe that it's the truth, but it's not when you really look at it and you dig in deep, and then people call you out on that. When you live in that shadow self, remember, it's that energy, that health and sickness is part of that. Your body gets sick because that's your opportunity. That's your body or your mind letting you know, you better start balancing yourself. You better start looking to that other side and balancing this, because if not, too much to this side, you're going to fall to the wayside. You're going to get sick, very ill, to the point of no return. So this is your opportunity to make things right. You know what I'm saying? If you just have a piece of the puzzle, then you got to look at the other pieces. So yeah, this brother, Marc Lamont, got on a platform. And the reason why I address these platforms a lot of times is because they have a lot of views, and they're influencing people out there, and they need to know the truth. You know what I'm saying? You have to do your part to say, hey, listen, this is some missed information. Let me put in the missing pieces. Let me put in some missing pieces. So when you get on a platform, start speaking, and not only submersive, but you start speaking lies. You know what I'm saying? You start speaking and you believe it so much, you start speaking, and you start you start propagating these lies. Then guess what happens? That affects your body. There are people out here that are very, very. I have been in that situation too. I can take it, but I've been in a situation where people tell they don't tell the whole story. They just tell bits and pieces and what their perception, their piece, and they just tell lies. And they get sick. You get sick mentally and physically, right? So you go on these platforms and you start speaking, and it also deals with people too that get so stuck on doctrine. They get so stuck on doctrine and dogma that they can't connect to the source. That's dangerous too, because you get stuck to one doctrine. You get stuck to that dogma and doctrine, and this is all you have. But you're not connecting to the source, the electromagnetic spectrum, the source, what we say Ra, right? The most high frequency that is on this earth, that creates all these magnetic forces, electromagnetic forces, right? This frequency, this coming from the sun. And then what happens? You disconnect yourself with that. So you don't eat sun food, electric food. You don't see the whole picture because you can't cover the sun with your finger. Have you heard that one before? Try covering the sun with your finger. You can't do it. So it takes a whole body. It takes a whole perspective. You have to look at it from that cosmic sense. And so when we fail to do that and we start looking at it from our egotistical sense and we start looking at it from a very small, narrow perspective, we get sick. Your body gets sick. Because that's the way nature is. That's the condition. That's the condition. I didn't make the rules. You know what I'm saying? That's the condition of earth. If truth is not watered into, if it's not used to influence things around you, then you're going to create a sick environment. It's the way it is. You just have to open up our eyes and look at it. Our senses, that first eye, and also you have to speak the truth, man. Truth could sometimes be bitter. Or it could be sweet but bitter to the stomach. Or vice versa. I mean, truth, people can't handle the truth. Like that movie with Tom Cruise, that Jack Nicholson said, you cannot handle the truth. That's true. People cannot handle the truth. And so what happened is they get caught up in lies and they get caught up in that shadow self. And when that happens, man, you create a sick environment. You get sick. Your environment, this is what you start inhibiting. It's this toxic environment, toxicity. And I've learned to, in my later age, I learned to push that to the side. Even though you can deal with it, you can be in it, but not of it. You got to know how to deal with that. And then there's a lot of cliches that you got to watch. You got to watch it clear. Here lies the truth. Here lies the truth. You know what I'm saying? The little mind game, play game. So you got to watch the English language too. You got to watch this perspective that are being put out to us. Give me 1 second. I got my phone here. I'm getting things from YouTube here, but I'm not quite on the on this computer. I'm not gonna stay here too long, man. I don't want to be too preachy and shit. But just want to let you know that, when you look at it from that perspective, when you look at it as a whole, and you say, man, I foresee a lot of these individuals that are speaking submersively, are speaking half-truth and misinformation are going to be sick and look at the environment around them. Their environment around them is going to be toxic. They're living in a toxic environment. If you're living in Harlem and you spitting this shit and you're living in a toxic environment, okay? Just look around you. That's the reason why, as Ansars, we had to create an environment where was predicated on truth, of finding, at least finding the truth. Because we know what we know, and we seek what we don't know. So we was in truth. So it wasn't a toxic environment. Only those that couldn't live within that truth, that spiritual enlightenment, couldn't get to that point that they started bringing in those toxic behavior, which are lies. And that, if it exists, is right there as an opportunity for you to make it right and to look into balancing yourself and balancing your environment around you. I mean, everything is not perfect where I live. I know that. At least where I'm at, where I'm standing at, where I'm sitting at, in my environment, that's going to be positive. That's going to reflect me. But I can walk out of this room right now and I can have certain people that I have to put them in check because they have a toxic way, because they're still dealing with their shadow self, the shame, the guilt. I'm telling you, man, when you're an empath, you feel this with people around you, you know, and they reveal themselves. They reveal themselves, you know. So it's very, very, very important for us to realize how this energy and how we speak, what we speak, and make sure that we're putting the pieces together and we're speaking truth and with honor, okay? And we speaking truth. Because when you start spitting that lies and you live in it and you believe that fractured, you're missing pieces, it doesn't put together, that means your body ain't put together. And we learned that at Sons of the Green Light. Remember when Nasiya means forgetful people, was shattered, and the idea was to try and put the pieces together, the shattered pieces of us, our body, our human, our spirit, to put it together through meditation, through chanting, meditation, and through harnessing through affirmation, harnessing certain frequencies, certain thoughts and idea frequently, so that becomes a frequency. And as that funnels in through our body and we create those habitual habits, and those habitual feelings, then we get to balance ourselves good. I've learned a lot. I healed myself. I've learned a lot. I was sick at one time because I was lying to myself. I was partaking in things that weren't about truth. In terms of diet, in terms of perception of what people believe out there, and we were being brought up in it. And I was lying to myself because I knew my nature and I knew who I was inside, but I was trying to please other people. That's a lie. You're not being complete. You're not being truthful when you try to please other people. Don't try to please anybody. Don't try to do things what they call peer pressure, peer groups, peer reviews. Your peers can be very detrimental, you know. So that's something that we have to really look at. So, you know, you learn. I've learned to heal my body, to look for the truth in things, to at least seek what I don't know and try to seek and try to put those pieces. Learn puzzles. Learn about puzzles, word puzzles, and learn how to put pieces together. Use that detective mind to put the pieces together, you know, to figure things out from different angles. You know what I'm saying? And you learn. You learn to do that, you know? And then you learn critical thinking, but critical thinking are also part of that shadow self. But when you deal with paradoxical thinking, now you're dealing with something different because you're looking at it from a paradoxical view. You know what I'm saying? Paradoxical view. You're able to now to look further into things. Like think like a detective. And those are skills that you can develop. Investigation skills, you know? Panaba Yanung got a degree on that. Investigative work. He was able to investigate things. It's putting those pieces together. And so that's what's going on now. You're going to see a lot of this happening because remember, the sun, the cosmos, the earth, it's getting stronger. It's what they call global warming. You know, these electromagnetic forces are getting stronger and stronger. And it's affecting our very lives inside, the way we think and the way we feel, the way we eat, everything about us. You know? And so we have to do our part. We have to do our part. We got to look at, we have to look at how we're living. And there's way to do it, and there's ways to be, There's ways to actually, just 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Peace and blessing, Alfonso Pata. Peace and blessing to you. I had to put on my Facebook account. 1 second. So, you're seeing this manifesting in front of you, how individuals are speaking misinformation. They're missing pieces, but that's what they do, is they want to hit you with that fractalized concepts and fractalized, like they do in churches. There's a lot of sick people in churches. Well, you got a man up there sitting up there. Very, very, very rare you will find a pastor that's putting the whole picture together. Very rare. When they step out of that particular school, they have to step out of that school. And there's been a couple of pastors that have done that. But look how they spit verses and bits and pieces here, never putting the pieces together. I could see if you're trying to teach something and then you bring in a quote to try to validate what you're saying, that's cool. But when you're up there just spitting different quotes, fractalized, you're creating insanity, what they call giddy, insanity. So you have people out there that are caught up in that, and they're sick mentally. You can't have a normal conversation. Immediately, they start spitting these verses, spitting this stuff at you, you know? And you're like, wow, what a mental shame. What a waste of a brain. What a waste of a brain, something mental here. You know what I'm saying? But you have that in a lot of religious organizations, and even in college. Look at the word college, a collage, right? So then you have to look at in college, you have to pick a specific school. You have to pick a specific degree, a major or something that you can go in. But they give you a bunch of bits and pieces and stuff like that. There's a lot of sick people out there, man. Sick. They don't know how to put the pieces all together. And that's one thing we learn to do. Analyze things. Put it together. Look at it from the view of the galactical view. The view from the mountain. Get up on the mountain and look at it. You can't know the glory of a city if you don't go up to the mountain and look down at it. If you're so caught up in it, you ain't never gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me 1 second. You don't have to watch the baby. All right. I'm gonna have to cut it short here. Okay? Like I said, You got to deal with issues all around you because you have people that are so fragilized. They're sick. They're sick. You know what I'm saying? They're very, very sick. So I'm going to leave it at that because I think that I said what I had to say. It's only been I'm gonna keep it short because a lot of people, don't have attention spans and shit like that. So. But anyway, peace and blessings to you all, and I hope that everybody is feeling great. And look, man, don't wish anything bad on anybody, or nothing like that. But view it and say, man, I don't want this for me. I don't want this for me. I don't want it for me. So I have to seek what I don't know and make sure that I'm putting the pieces together and learning how to deal. Be tolerant of people, even if they sick and fracturalized. Be tolerant, but also put your foot down and says, wait a minute. And sometimes you can't even let them know because then they're gonna backlash at you. You can't let a person like Marc Lamont Hill know. You can't speak to people like this. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna latch back at you. So you have to gradually, patiently, you have to put it to them in the right way. Anyway, peace and blessings to you all, man. Next time I come on, man, if anybody want to come on, have any questions or want to come on and share their experience, man, you're more welcome to.